Welcome back to the best real estate podcast with my boy Randy.
How are you guys doing?
If you guys don't know Randy, how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. He's killing it right now. My guy has about like 10 properties in the last year. Or what do you say? How many was it?
I did no, I bought two, but it's 'cause I flipped, four.
Okay.
So I sold two and then bought two last year.
Nice.
So I mean, still good.
How did you end up in the real estate space?
I started doing this when I was 19. Yeah, first I was just learning about the game. I wasn't until it was during 2019, so it was during the whole year I started learning about the game, the real estate game, and I was like, you know what, this is something I want to take on. This is sounds pretty good.
At first, was it like for investing or?
Yeah, everything was for investing at first. I always liked the idea of cash flowing, financial freedom. That's what got me hooked.
Mhm.
Is the financial freedom. You make a lot of money, etc., etc. And I'm like, all right, well, give it a shot.
And then how did that like end up being? How did you go from just looking to invest to becoming a real estate agent?
It just happened to be I was in the right spot in the right time. So I was back in 2020, during the pandemic, I got laid off again for the second time during October, and I was like, I gotta get myself busy, right? So I was really investing in real estate, but I was like, I want to get more busy. So I went with Luis Ortiz.
Yeah.
I bought my first property with him, and I went to ask him, like, hey, by any chance, I could shadow you guys, see how I want to learn about the real estate market. And then long story short, he's told me straight up, like, hey, why not, get your license? And I was like, what, I think I'm gonna do it, just see what happens. And here I am today.
And I think that's like a great start, especially like working with Louis, who was the #1 Hispanic real estate agent in the whole state of Illinois. What was it like working with him?
It was great. It was really great. Like I learned a lot with him, like a lot. He just like the way he structured his business, the way he explains everything, just like so convincing. Like the way he tells you, like how it happens, and then that's actually how it happens. And then not only that, it's just like by him watching them doing all these transactions, and then working along, outside with him, you get to see it most of it, because I'm pretty sure you've seen like every other every other real estate agent, they get like they'll do like 100, 150, which is not bad, but he does like 200. 200, 300, and I was like, damn, this guy, this is a big deal. I didn't know he was a big deal until I started after like a whole 3 months later.
Yeah.
After shadowing, I'm like, yo, this guy, he's big. Like, oh shit. Yeah, he's so low key and everything, and I didn't know about him. I thought he was just like regular real estate agent, but nah, he was one of the top dogs.
How did it working with him like have an influence on you?
It's just like I like the fact he was just so humble. He was humble, quiet. He was just like work and just like don't have to stomp. Pop bottles, get all these crazy cars, fancy cars. That's something he always preached till this day. It's something it gave me. It persuaded me to be like humble like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was till this day. I try to be like him. Like something that it's one of the people that I know that I look up to.
That's dope. No, I think honestly that's like a really great start to like as a real estate career, because I think ending up under the wrong person, obviously real estate is like whatever you put into it, you're gonna get out. But like starting under the wrong people could like you could end up like failing because of that. Like you just weren't taught properly.
Yeah, that is definitely true, and thank God, he put me with him, because I was before, believe it or not, he was not my first real estate agent. When I was buying a house, I had like 2 other realtors, and unfortunately, they didn't work out, and then with him was the third time, and everything working with me as a client, it was just perfect. The way he was like communication, the knowledge he was teaching me was just peak. It was great.
What was your experience like buying your first property?
It was a headache, because it took me like literally like 6 months. It's I started in March. I had to deal with multiple offers. That was pretty discouraged. And the next thing you know, like I finally locked something in, and then 3 months passed by. We couldn't close the deal. I ended up backing out on the deal.
Why? What happened?
Yeah, I was having a bad feeling about it at this point. I was like, you know what?
This got cold feet?
Yeah, I got cold feet like after 3 months. So man, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cancel it. And,
But like you couldn't close it, like as in like from lending, or why?
it was like during that time, I didn't know during that time, but like now that I know, it's because it was I was getting a 2 or 3K loan,
Mm-hmm.
and then the house I was buying, it was a short sale, so I had to wait for it to get approved, which it got approved, and then at that point I was getting the financing for the 2 or 3K,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had to bring a contractor. The contractor had to put a bid. They got to do the paperwork. It was just scrambles. You know what I'm saying? It was scrambles because the contractor didn't know what he was doing. The lender, it was having a hard time. It was a shit show. So at that point, I couldn't take it anymore. I just cut it loose. I was under contract for 3 months. Yeah, and they didn't close.
What made you choose the property that you chose?
It was, it didn't. Well, that one I didn't end up buying, but it was like after we're working with Luis. They showed me a decent property. Like it was like moving ready, but it needed like remodeling a little bit, like a few touch ups.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, this is a good start. It's a multi unit. I could start working on it just little by little, and then
Mm-hmm.
just rent it out and let it appreciate.
What's your
That's
goal with like real estate as far as investing?
I want to keep on I want to get to the 6 units and up, get those complexes, multi units, 10 units, 12 units, even 20 units. That's one of my main goals in real estate investing. It's right now that I'm doing like flipping and then getting into the multi-unit, like 2, 3, 4 units. But I want to expand to the tens, because I'm doing flipping for a bit. I'm not. That's not really a long-term thing, because it's a hassle. Because you got to keep on looking for the next deal, and I don't want to deal with that. I want to keep it, rent it, let it appreciate, and then just sell it. In the future.
I feel like usually people who are flipping are like on the older side. Like, how did you like get into it?
It's just like I like the idea, right? Of just quick money, because it really is quick money. But the thing is, you get all these taxes, you get like a lot of pressure. You gotta deal with contractors, and then when you sell, yeah, it's a score. And guess what? You gotta look for the next deal. Getting the deal is the hardest thing. It's not. I say the deal, finding the deal is the most difficult thing. But I mean, it's just like the flipping is just it's a great business. Just like it's a lot of work, ton of work.
How did you get your first deal?
My first one, I actually negotiated with the listing agent because it was listed for 200,000, but they brought the price down to 175.
Mm-hmm.
I threw in an offer at 130, and they were going back and forth with the listing agent. Then we came to an agreement to 150. And I was like, this is actually a good start. This is a decent deal. It's not great, but it's a good deal. It was a good deal. I did my numbers. I'm like, you know what, this will work out. This will work out. So I pulled the trigger, and then I get the ball rolling.
Going into like your first flip, did you have like any problems you didn't expect?
Ton of them. Ton of them. Yeah, I had like a lot of problems. So the goal at first was like you literally just do like the bare minimum, and then put it back in the market, right?
Yeah.
So tell me why I had to do like a whole gut at that point. Yeah, so it was like it was a whole turnaround. I had to put like that. At first, I was not planning to put HVAC. I ended up putting HVAC. I wasn't planning to do a third bathroom. I ended up doing a third bathroom. So I ended up spending more money into the flip. And believe it or not, I was actually 20,000 short. 20,000 short by around the end. But I was able to figure something out. But after you start like it was the first time, right? You're dealing with the contractor. You just the first one, so you kind of like don't have enough of funds. I maxed out my credit cards. Like I went all in on this. I'm telling you, I went all in. But it worked out.
Yeah.
Everything, I paid everything off, made my money, and I learned from it. I learned a lot from it. The first one, and then on the second one, it was just more smoother. It's just quick. I know what I was doing. I know what I wanted. I know the structure of it. And then bam, it was just easier. It was more easier.
Damn. How did you meet your contractor?
So I know a lot of them. So there was this some that I know from mutual friends, people who grew up with. The ones I'm using right now, they're actually my past clients. They bought with me and sold with me before I even hired them. So they bought a building, they flipped it, and they sold it. And a few months later, after they sold, I was like, hey, And the reason I hired them because they their license with Cicero, and then the property that I'm flipping right now, it's a Cicero, so they want people who are licensed in Cicero. And then lucky for me, they were licensed with Cisco, so I asked them, hey, like, you guys want to take on this project with me? They're like, let's do it. We already had like that relationship, so they felt pretty confident on me, and then I felt pretty confident on them. So confident that like they'll take payments after the job is done.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of contractors they want like half the payments before they start working, and then they want the rest of it when they're done, or they want like like a deposit, to start working, and then they do doing with payments. With these guys, they started working and then they didn't get paid until they got it done. Like certain categories, right? Let's say they do HVAC,
Yeah.
they'll do the HVAC until it gets done, and then they'll get paid, and I give them the full payment. Those are the best ones to work with, by the way.
What? Damn. You weren't scared like going into it?
No, no, man. I was just like, screw it. The worst thing, you gotta take risks out here, man. No risk, no Rari, they say. Yeah, so it's like, I was like, for worst case scenario, I was like, I'll sell it, or like, I guess I'll file bankruptcy. You don't want to do that, but like, it's nothing to fear on, cause like, like, you gotta take risks on, life to exceed, get to bigger things. But no, no, I wasn't really scared. It was just like, it is what it is. Everybody has to go through it, so just get it over with.
So if you had like a client, right, approach you and they wanted to do their first flip, like how should they know if they're ready or not?
So I do ask them, what's their plan, because they say flip, and they're like, some people say like, oh, I just want to do like the kitchen, the bathroom, that's it. And there's some people that be like, oh, I just want to like, buy it and sell it afterwards. And I do, it's not realistic. And there's some people they're like, oh yeah, I want to upgrade, but I don't want to knock down any drywall. I'm like, I just want to do the plumbing, electrical, and that's it, and then just patch it up. And there's some people that they'll come to me and they'll be like, oh, I want to do a gut rehab. They tear everything out to the studs and put everything new. It depends, like, what they're looking for. Because, like, you gotta keep on talking to them, and then, you kind of educate them. You educate the client and, try and find them, what works best for them. Because a gut rehab, if a client comes to me and tells me, oh yeah, I don't want to do like let's say I only want to do 30,000 worth of work, and then I'll be like, okay, this is what we should be looking for these and these locations and these type of properties for you know at these price range areas, and then this is the plan, like if you're gonna put 30,000 to work, realistically, doing a flip within like 6 a year is not gonna happen because like you need time to raise its value. So like if you're gonna put 30,000, or you just get a hold at least 2 years. It just depends on the plan. Every client is different. You gotta really like discover like what they're looking for, and what's the best plan for them. Because someone who just gonna put 30,000, the plan it's not gonna work if they sell it like right away. Or if someone does a good rehab after 6 to 12 months, it makes sense.
How much money would you think someone would need for the first flip?
For the first flip, it does depend. If they're doing pure cash, then I say at least 300K, pure cash. But if you have like renovation loans, you got 2 or 3K line of credits. If you're gonna do those type of loans, at least 90,000.
90,000?
90,000, yeah. Because you need the down payment, and then you need at least some money to start construction on it.
Mm-hmm. Damn. 300K? Jeez, that's a lot.
That is a lot, but the thing about people don't understand is that they hear that number, they're like, damn, well, I don't have 300K, but that's when the entrepreneurial mindset comes in. Like, okay, you ask yourself, oh, how can I get 300K? Who can hop in this deal and then be my investor? Let's just say, because there's people that we know. They have like 20, 30,000, and they might be willing to invest in you. You know what I'm saying? Because 300K is like it's just difficult to obtain between yourself. But let's say if you have like investors that they're willing to invest in you, then it's not really as much. The first one I did, I would luckily, no, I wouldn't say luckily, but like I was able to get like a few investors to help me out with 250K, which was great as the first flip. Wasn't that bad at all.
How did you meet him?
It was through one of the loan officers that I know. He sent me up they're in Texas, so he's like he's a guy who gets like people who to invest in his company, like nurses, attorneys, doctors, all these people who make a lot of money. They invest in his company and they'll get a return, and then that guy will like invest in real estate. You know what I'm saying? He'll try to find deals, or he'll try to find people who will do like who could flip that money into real estate.
Yeah.
So he gets his investors, and that guy looks for investors who can do flips, which is one that was me. So like I find the deal. I'm like, hey, this is the deal. These are the numbers. He'll look into it. All right, let's do it. I'll lend you the money, and then we get the ball rolling.
Do you ever look for like off market deals?
I do look for off market deals. But the thing about that, people don't understand is like, sometimes the off market deals are not really the greatest because sometimes, they'll be so overpriced. It's just like, it really does depend. It depends on the connections that real estate agents, they might have a property that, before they even put it in the market, or you can go like, for sale by owners. As of now, I haven't locked in like an off market deal. Only one, the one I recently did, but that was from another realtor.
Yeah. What do you think is better, flipping real estate or being a real estate agent?
I said flipping real estate. Flipping real estate, because with two flips, you basically you do like double like more than the average agent, way more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how can I describe it? With two flips, you can make between 100 to 200K. It depends on the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And then as a realtor, like you gotta keep constantly getting clients, getting closing deals. And then it just depends. The average realtor, well, they make like 30,000, 40,000. Like it's just like, or they make 100K. Some of them don't even reach the 100K. But with two flips, you literally did their whole salary,
Yeah. That's
whole
great.
hands of work, and then you just did two flips, boom.
But I think the thing is though, I and that's the hard part. I think, in my opinion, being a real estate agent is better, but only if you take it really hardcore.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like if
sure.
I think like if you take it to a level of like Lewis, for example, like there's agents out there, and it's not very common, obviously, that are making 100K a month. There's loan officers making that. So I think it's only really better if you like hardcore, no life, just working like 12 hours a day. But if you're gonna like do it casually, I think what you're saying is right.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's difficult, man. Like I'm a real estate agent too, and then I do like I try to do both at the same time. You can say like, but it's a ton of work, I mean, last year I did pretty great. I say, because that was the first year I became independent. I did 21 deals, 21 transactions, and I did like I had 4 projects going on last year. So to me that was a good year, but it was difficult. You always I was literally in the office almost every day, between like 8 a.m. in the morning to almost to 7 p.m.
What made it a good year?
What was that?
Well, how did you like make it a successful year in real estate?
It's just like I just stay locked in, stay locked in. And then like just really to it. Talk to people, go out there, don't be in the house though. You cannot be in the house, because like bro, what you accomplishing in the house? Nothing. You gotta go out there, meet people, talk to people, hang out with friends, hang out with their friends, just socializing. That's all you gotta do. Just socializing, hop on the phone, talk to people you haven't talked to in a minute. During the holiday season, talk to them, talk to them, deliver something like the pies. When I did the pies, I like doing the pies because it gives me the perfect excuse to talk to people.
Yeah.
And seeing them. So I just be like, hey, you want some pies? Or hey, I'm delivering pies. I could drop some off today or tomorrow. And they'll be like, yeah, go ahead. And perfect opportunity to see someone face to face and talk to them.
Yeah.
And that way, they keep, they'll be in your mind. They'll think of you. Like when they hear real estate, they'll be like, oh yeah, I got my guy Randy, or I got my guy Chris. It's a good way to have them, in your mind, in their mind.
Yeah, that's good. What does your goal for this year?
This year, dude, like honestly, like I really don't set myself for goals, cause like it just says like a limitation, right? It's just my belief, right? Because if I do like I want to do 30 transactions, it's like
Just 30?
30. Let's just say just an example, right?
Right.
Let's say I just want to do 30 transactions. It's like I'm putting a limitation, right? Because I might hit it. Let's say I do hit it, and I might be like, oh yeah, I could slack off a little. You know what I'm saying? The way I think about it is like, dude, I just want to help as many people as I can. You know what I'm saying? Help as many people as I can. The more the better. And then just keep helping, keep meeting people, keep educating people, and then just keep on doing that repeatedly. But just by me doing that, I was able to lock in 4 listings this year.
From the pies?
No, just 4 listings. This January 11, 4 listings already.
Damn.
4 listings.
How did you get them?
From past clients, from us, one of them is from one of my friends. Two of them from past clients.
Becoming a real estate agent, like, and I mean, at first you obviously started on your team, like you mentioned, and then you went on your own. But how did you feel like you did your first year? Like, do you think you struggled, or how did you feel about it
For the first year as an agent, or the first year
as an agent? Just as an agent, day one. Like,
as the
how did you feel about it?
it was intimidating because it's like you gotta talk to people, right?
You gotta talk to
Yeah,
people.
you gotta. I was scared to be on the phone, dude. It was like, dude, I was like, when I was training, they were like, okay, you're gonna call people. I was like, it looked easy, but when I was about to do, it, I'm like, damn, this is not. What do I say? I'm about to talk to a whole stranger. Like, dude, what am I gonna say? At first, it was a struggle, but I was the way I was thinking about it. I was like, I just want to get better at the game. You know what I'm saying? Just practice, talk to people, practice, talk to people until I get comfortable. And that was the main focus. I'll do calls, just talk to them, and then just get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Get the ball rolling, and whatever hits, it hits.
Becoming so, what would you say was your biggest struggle, like becoming an agent?
The biggest struggle holding a conversation, communication. Because like back then I had a bad habit of not carrying on the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll probably end it quick. I'll end it quick and not knowing what to say. So that's something I was able to practice on. Have you heard about the method called Ford? Ford.
Yeah, of course.
Ford. Yeah, yeah. So that's something that Lewis taught me. It was just the four, right? So it's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So it's like you just pick a category and just talk about them. Just monkey branch, I call it monkey branch, and just carry on the conversation. That's the easy way to do it. Just, if you don't know how to start or what to say, Ford. That's like I always keep that card under my belt.
When you were a new real estate agent, did you have like trouble having people trust you, or no?
Yeah, I did at first because it was like I always, they always threw me that oh, you're new in the business, you look pretty young, this and that. But the way I was able to go twist it a little bit, I was like, oh, I'm a real estate investor as well because I really was during that time. I wasn't a real estate investor. I did like a partial rehab. I owned like one building. I owned one, but they didn't know how to know how many I had, right? So I just be like, oh, I'm a real estate investor too. I do more real estate investing. I did a rehab. I did partially rehab. And like, yeah, I did a rehab. I know that side of the business. That's what I'm best at. That's what I specialized in. And then educating them, and then just talking to Lewis. I always talk to Lewis for everything. Like, hey, this person asked me for this. What you think about that? Oh, he'd be like, oh, just tell him this. Oh, this is this and that. And I'll just go talk to the client again. But the first year, that was a big struggle. I'll get that a lot. They'll be like, oh, you're still new. You look pretty young. This and that. I mean, now it's not really. I'll get that. They'll be like, oh, you look pretty young. But I'll be like, well, I mean, because I don't look like the average Joe.
Yeah. What do you think you struggle with now?
Now,
What is your weak points?
one of the weak points is getting I'll probably say getting really organized. Because since I'm doing, I'm flipping real estate and doing, construction type of work, that takes a lot of my time. And I'm doing the real estate agent side of the business too. Because, let's say I'm doing, something, a meeting with a client, whatever, I'm talking to a client, doing some paperwork. My contractor will call me, like, hey, we're missing materials, we need this and that, and I'm like, damn, I gotta go to Home Depot now, go back to the property, drop it off, and then go back to the office, right? And then that'll take a lot of my time. It'll be like an hour, depending on what's the job site I put. It could take you for an hour, and then that took an hour of your day already from doing the real estate side of the business, real estate agent side of the business. So I try to structure myself as best I can. So I try to do like on my the investor side in the morning, right in the morning, go to the job sites, let the contractor work, talk to the contractor, be like, hey, what do you need today? If we're good, you're gonna miss any materials, what you gonna do today, blah blah blah. And then after that, go to the office, start working, call clients, and then get the ball rolling. And then I try to avoid going to the job sites as much as I can. But it's just like it's just difficult because they call you. Sometimes you gotta check on the contracts and the workers, make sure they're working. It's like it's a lot of momentum, a lot of momentum.
What is your like favorite moment in real estate as an agent or like as an investor?
Favorite moment?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like a memory. Like I think for me, Um, I wouldn't say favorite, but one memory that I have is I was at a ceremony for like awards. I didn't even win one, but just being there, like it was we were on a yacht, and it was when I was an agent, and then just thinking like I remember seeing everyone and like there was a lot of successful agents there, and I was like, wow, like I could really make something of myself. Like I don't know, I just remember feeling like because when before you get into real estate, I feel like at least me, I've never met so many people that think big. And then you get into real estate space and you start to talking to so many people and like you just realize okay, there's a lot of people that, you know, think like me and some people that are even thinking bigger than me.
That's something I like about this industry. Like you come across with like a lot of like-minded people. That's something I really appreciate because you know you bump into people that you think alike. You know they're like, oh, they dream big. They dream big. They're like, oh, I want a private jet. You know, I want a jet. I want a supercar, which is great, great. But the thing I like the most is like you know I was able to, you know, like get this knowledge and take it to my sphere. You know what I'm saying? To people who I grew up with, because I'm putting them on the game. That's something that I like the most, and it's something like you know, I always appreciate because I'm able to like be an influence in their lives. You know what I'm saying? You know, I could be the go-to guy, the real estate guy. You know, hey, you know, you know, they'll ask me questions, or they'll be like, oh, you know somebody, and I'll be like, yeah, man, I can hook you up with this person. I can, you know, I could teach you about this, you know, or answer your questions. That's something I more like you said more memorable. You said
Yeah.
that's it's not really memorable, but it's something that you know I think it brings me more joy to the real estate.
Do you have a favorite client?
A favorite client? Do I have a lot? I have a lot of clients. It's just like a lot of them invite me to their parties, their families, to their homes, to their baby showers, their weddings. It's crazy. I have so many memories with them. Like I don't have a favorite. I love my clients. All of them. All of them, dude. It's like I'm telling you, I've been to their baby showers. I went to their parties, their cookouts. I went to like their I went to their houses. They'll be like, hey, yo, come to my house, come to my party. My birthday's this day. I'll go. I'll have clients like they'll buy and sell and buy and sell again. And it's like people who come back. I have clients that randomly call me. They randomly call me and we just joke around. Like one of my favorite clients. I think you know I think I do have I do have a favorite client. He's like
You lied.
he's like dude I like this guy because he's so rude. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like this guy will call me. He'd be like, ¿Qué onda, pinche feo? He's like a old friend. Like, he was like, dude, I like this guy. He's like, hey, what's up? What's up, hideous? I told him, like, hey, what's going on? He's like, nah, es que acá ando con la pinche vieja. And it's like, I'm like, yo, he's talking about his wife. And her wife will hear, he'll hear him, be like, ah, ya cállate. He will say his name, but be like, ah, cállate. Yeah, but, he'll call me randomly, and then, like, he'll just, like, like, oh yeah, what's going just to check up, you know what I'm saying? But like he'll be like, like all rude. He'll be like, damn, yeah, ¿qué onda, pinche feo, and this and that. Or he'll be like, ¿qué onda, presidente? He's a cool guy. I do have a lot of clients like that, but I think he was like one of my favorite ones. But I like all my clients, dude. Like it just brings me joy that I was able to like be part of their lives. You know what I'm saying? Till this day, they'll still call me and they'll be like, oh, when you don't come to our cookout, I'm like, well, just invite me and I'll be there.
That's nice.
I have a lot of stories, dude.
I think that's the. I think I see that a lot with agents more so than clients, where like at first when you meet an agent, you're all proper and you're like, so the interest rates and like these programs I have, right?
Yeah.
And then and then after a certain while, you just start talking about the most random things.
Yeah, no, that's that's the way to do it. 'Cause I used to be like that. I'd be like, oh, I mean, you want to be professional, right?
Of course.
Like, yeah, of course.
First impression,
right? But sometimes you gotta like kind of like tune it up a little bit, right? Be like kind of more different than every other Asian. Like you gotta like sometimes hop in their conversation. They'll be talking about say some dumb shit, and then you just jump in, be like, yeah, man, I did the same thing, or you just just go with their flow. You know what I'm saying? You get a little bit out of character. Nothing to do with real estate. Like I can go more on with this topic, but the conversation I have with clients is kind of crazy. They be getting I had some few other clients that told me their their deepest darkest secrets. It's crazy. Like I get so connected they even tell me. They'll tell me their secrets.
They tell you where they hid the bodies and stuff.
They Dude, I don't want to say much, man, because you never know who if they're watching or not.
Mm-hmm.
But they have stories where they be like, oh, just cheating on my wife, this and that. Oh man,
That's
they be
crazy.
like, man, I don't want to be like, damn, my fucking wife, this and that. Or my husband, this crazy, it's crazy business. I'm telling you, it's funny though. It's funny, like damn, hearing all these stories.
Yeah, that's how I feel like as a loan officer with agents. You start sharing stuff, and then, like at first, like you said, you gotta make yourself different, right? Because I feel like obviously you gotta be professional, of course, right? Like you gotta know like how to draw the line. Like
Oh, yeah,
okay,
for sure,
it's time to
yeah.
lock in.
That's how I lock in. Like one of my clients, this happened recently. We get along pretty well. We drank together before. This is the third time he's buying with me. And then he's like we like, primo, what's up, primo, this and that, and then we're having a conversation. But he called me out one time. He was like, primo, te veo bien lento, man. What's going on, dude? Estás con las moros o qué onda? Like, dude, what you mean? I'm like, dude, nah, I'm just like, I'm locked in. It my bad, dude. It's because I got you. I told him like, hey, no, I'll look in. I got you. I told him. But yeah, he called me out. He was like, dude, you be slacking. He's basically, you're slacking out here. I haven't seen your momentum. I'm looking for a third property. But it's just like that confidence that you want. You want that confidence with the client. They can get out of character with you. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
can call you out. Because some clients that would have been like, yeah, screw this guy, I'm going with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But he had the confidence to call me out. Like, dude, this is perfect. Like he called me out, like, yeah, well, shit, he checked me. All right, I gotta get to it.
Yeah.
Get to it. He didn't ditch me. He just checked me.
Yeah, I remember. It wasn't similar to that, but a little bit. I had like a conversation with one of my realtors, and we were going over the numbers, and we were talking about the cash to close for the client, and he's like, hey, how could we get him lower? And I straight up told him, I was like, negotiate better.
No way you told him that.
Because we were already getting him down payment assistance, so it's not like they weren't getting nothing. So I just straight up told him, I was like, you gotta negotiate better. And like he still references it to this day, and it's funny because he actually did it.
Yeah, shit,
Like, yeah, so
yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta do it. Yeah.
that's what like, and I remember like, so when you go over this max seller credits, you gotta tuck it through like tax expiration. He
Right.
didn't know about that, so like
Oh.
I essentially told him, it's like, hey, you just gotta negotiate better. And then like we joke about it even still, that it's like, and I did that.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, sometimes you gotta do it. You gotta think outside the box sometimes.
But no, I think that's the beauty about real estate though, when you could get it to that level where, for me, like doing a pre-approval is like second nature, right? Whereas like at first now, like it was scary. It was like I remember the first time I took a loan application in person. I didn't know anything, and I felt like kind of a little bit embarrassed.
Right.
Like I was like,
Wait till I tell my story, dude.
I was gonna pretend like I just filled it out, and I remember I looked at the tax returns, and I didn't know what I was looking for in the tax returns. I was just looking at the tax returns, and I made copies, and I told her that, I would look into it with my manager and like follow up, and then she was like, "But what does it look like? Do you think I'll qualify or not, or something like that?" And I was like, I couldn't even answer that.
I'll get back to you, dude.
But the worst part was that it was all in person. Like if you take an application over the phone and then like, hey, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. That's fine because, okay, like for example, if I get a loan in the middle of the day, like, and they send me all their documents, I probably already have appointments lined up. So I got to tell them like, hey, right now I got an appointment at 2, 3, and 5. So I'm not really going to get a look at your loan, but I'm going to review it and you'll have an approval in 24 hours. Right, but when you're doing it all in person, you gotta like,
You're in the spot, dude.
yeah, it's like, where's it
Yeah.
at?
Where's it
So
at?
I think that's really hard to hide. Hiding that you don't know what you're talking about, it's hard.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's everybody goes through it when you're freshly new. The first client I was able to meet, that did not go so well. It was crazy, Like, yeah, I learned a lot from this guy too. Like,
Did you close them?
No, I didn't end up. I did not end up closing this guy. Yeah, so like, I was doing my calls, right, just spamming the calls, and because I was during that time I was calling the Lewis's lead trackers, the old ones, right?
Yeah.
It was good practice. Just call, whatever lands, it lands. And then this guy who was like, yeah, I want to meet in person. I was so high, dude. I'm gonna have my first initial consultation. I'm gonna lock it in, right? And then I was like, damn, but what are we talking about, right? And I told Lewis, I'm like, dude, how does this go down? And like, he was like, don't worry, we'll have our Sandra, that's the one Lewis' assistant, she'll be there to help you out. But she wasn't there, so I had to take on the client myself. So I was like, hey, just like long story short, just try to educate them. Be like, oh, this is real estate, blah blah blah. You gotta get pre-approved, this and that. We could start, show you some houses. So I showed them a few houses before they even got pre-approved, because they were working on getting the pre-approval. After the second house, for some reason the buyer, the client thought that I was showing them like a house that was like because the house listed at 320. But like when you go through HomeSnap, you can see the history, right? The history of
Mm-hmm.
the house. And the guy was like, dude, this house, is listed for 135. I'm like, no, it's not. But he checked, when it said it's sold, but for some reason he thought that was the price of it. And he was like, dude, why are you trying to sell me a house, over 200K? I'm like, dude, no, that's not. I didn't have my phone when he came back to the office. I was like, no, he's not. I gotta double check, but if I remember, it's not like
You're showing a house and you already know the
yeah,
price.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm sure that it's not like, it's listed at that price. Like I don't think I was, I didn't know what to tell him, because I'm like, dude, I never dealt with the situation, and he ended up leaving, and I told Sandra, was Louis' assistant, like, yo, this guy came back, was furious and that he thought I was showing him a house that that it's worth 140, and then I was trying to sell it to him for a 320. And then at that time I got my phone. I'm like, dude, it's because he was looking at the history. It sold 6 months ago for that price, and that guy was pissed, trying to call him back. He did not like answer me. And then Sandra ended up calling him back, like, hey, it's a mistake, this and this that. She basically explained to him, right? He was like, man, it's because she told me this. This is what he said. Like, it's because things, Randy's new, this and that. I know he's new, but like, man, this is, can be putting on people like that? I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I was like, damn, that was the first, like, damn, this is not. It's not a good start. It's not a good start. But at that point, I was like, man, I gotta get better. You know what I'm saying? So like, it is what it is. Everybody who starts in the business has like a bad experience with clients. It's just part of the game. You just gotta keep on learning and keep on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the one. That was the first clients I dealt with, and it did not go so well.
How did you start getting like the client trust? Like, how did you go from being a bad realtor to being a good realtor?
It just like just keep on learning when lucky for me. I keep on saying it because it's very true. Lucky for me, I work on the Lewis, so I was able to dodge the curving, the learning curve they call it.
Mm-hmm.
After my 8 transaction, I was getting the ball rolling. I was like, I got the confidence already. It's just like just reputation. You go over the basics. During that time, we had the morning meetings, and then he'll talk about. We'll do like role plays. He'll teach us. He'll educate us, and then I will use that knowledge and just what he taught me, just throw it to the game, throw it to the field, and then talk to clients, educate them, and that's it. Yeah, but I'll say after like after 6 months, I was able to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
6 months. But that during that time in 2021, it was a hard market. So you heard, everybody was closing deals. Even the shitty real agents were closing deals because there was so many ton of buyers.
Yeah.
But reality hit the year after 2022, because that's when like things start to get like more difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because rates started going up. Like there's be less buyers. You have multiple offers still going on for some reason. It's more. That was a whole different struggle at that point. It was not much
Mm-hmm.
about the clients. That was just about the market. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a little bit the clients because I'm trying to get more clients, but that market was a whole shift. I was having a hard time in that market during 2022. But clients wise, everything, it was still, I was still getting the hang of it. I wouldn't say it wasn't until like 2023 by the end of it, I felt like fully confident with the clients. Like I was able to meet with them, talk to them, educate them, to 100%. Of course I'm still learning, but I had, it got to a level that's like, okay, I could do this now. Like this is second nature to me.
Yeah. What advice would you give to like a young new realtor?
New realtor, I say you focus on learning. Forget about everything else. Don't get too attached about like the Rolex, the fancy cars, because a lot of people they go into the business, because of that reason. They're like, oh, I want to make a ton of money. But in reality, is you're not gonna get to that level till maybe like after 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start seeing momentum. But if for anyone who starts new in the business, I always say like, dude, just focus on learning, learn, go talk to people, eh, try to get like people who can mentor you, like Louis did to me, and just learn. Focus on learning. Forget everything else. Learn.
Yeah, that's solid. And I think the one thing that I like about you and Lewis as well is like you're doing great, and then you're not like that active on like social media. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I do it. It's because like I never, I wasn't really never a fan of social media. It's just like it's not really. I always see it as like a way to get attention. I'll say, like, because you have a lot of people that do videos for attention. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really much about but the realistic thing is just like more about like I want to get attention. I want to get more views. Because I do come across people that be like, oh my god, I got like 1,000 views, this and that. I'm like, okay, but how many did you close? And then be like, no, nothing. Yeah, it was just like Lewis. He say the same thing. He kind of brainwashed me. I guess you could say. He's like, man, yes, so you don't need social media, this and that. I mean, he could be wrong. I could be wrong too. But what works for him works for him, right? But yeah, he's not really a fan of social media. Neither am I. I only use social media just to put realistic stuff. Because you don't see me posting memes. You don't see me posting like on Facebook, like all these crazy stuff, freaky shit, none of that shit. Yeah, 'cause you see, you know what I'm talking about. People posting dumb shit, freaky stuff. I'm like, dude, what's going on, dude? It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. You have realtors doing the same thing. They post like crazy, kinky stuff. I'm like, well, dude, come on, man. You have clients. They're gonna stalk you. They're gonna see this. Yeah, I'm not gonna work with this realtor. Yeah.
yeah. No, I think one good thing about at least my personal business is that the thing that I focused on first was the fundamentals, like the lead tracker, the greatness tracker, like my points of contact, like the break breads, the face to face. Like I focused on that, and then like the social media. Like I'm very active on social media, and like you said, it's a good way to get attention, and that's how I see social media. I'm like, I'm gonna get everyone's attention. It's so easy to get all these realtors' attention.
Oh yeah.
Like because they're so passionate about real estate, and then they see this young goofy guy like just became a loan officer. Like it's easy to get their attention. It's easy to get their eyeballs. So I think if you have the right intentions, it goes a long way.
For sure. Because like you get like everybody can see it through social media. Like you get like it's instant. You could talk to people through social media instantly. It's a good way. It's a good source. Just gotta learn how to use it, right?
Yeah. No, I think I agree. A lot of people don't really post like about real estate. There was this one realtor, and I won't drop names, but I helped. Oh no, I can't, because then it's gonna be obvious.
Man, you gotta give me the sauce. They gotta.
No, all right. There was a realtor that I helped their family member buy a home. Actually, there's a loan officer where currently that their uncle I pre-approved them, and then also there's a realtor that their family member. I was the first point of contact. Like before they talked to a realtor, before anything, I got them pre-approved. They actually submitted two offers with a different agent before they went with their family member, and yeah, I think marketing yourself is correctly is important. Like
yeah, for sure.
I carry myself seriously, and I think sometimes even a little bit too much, like a little bit cocky, But I think that in my opinion, you have to like portray yourself how you want to be instead of how you really are. Right?
Yeah,
like real estate, like you don't know anything, you get into real estate. I'm not gonna get in here like, hey guys, I haven't closed my first deal yet, but
yeah, they're gonna
give me a shot.
Yeah, don't work with this guy. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna be like, I work at this company under this team, and like I'm really excited to help people out, and like you fumble your way through the closing, you get it to the finish line.
Yeah, something when I was starting with Luis, something that I used a lot. He told me to use, be like, dude, just say that you're working with Team Luis Ortiz. And like just basically just say that I work with Luis Ortiz. He did tell us sometimes say that we're number one in the area, but like that seems pretty aggressive. You can say like a client doesn't really care that you're number one, right? Some of them might do.
I disagree.
Yeah, you disagree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never seen a client.
You just gotta like I mean, not in a douchey way, but like, for example, when I get a realtor referral, they have no idea who Guaranteed Rate is, right?
Right.
They have no idea who I am. So I just give them like a quick rundown, like, hey, like we're one of the top 5 mortgage companies in the nation. We tend to be pretty good about rates. We have a lot of programs for first-time buyers, non-first-time buyers, and we have less restrictions than most places. Literally line by line, I've said that like thousands of times to clients, and it's because they don't know. They're like, hey, like, why did Randy send me over here? Like, Guaranteed Rate, that's weird. Why can't I go to like PNC?
PNC. No, that's good. No, I mean, if it works for you, right? So that's perfect, right? But I always, when I was starting, I was like, I work with, Team Luis Ortiz. He's great what he does. And they're not, people know who he is. They'd be like, oh, Luis Ortiz, yeah, we see him around, this and that. So I guess like it brings that more confidence,
Yeah.
when you're working with a client.
When you went on your own, did you like struggle with that at all or no?
No, man, not at all. It was just like I'll say like the first 3 months, it was gaining the momentum. It wasn't really a struggle, just gain the momentum again. You know what I'm saying? Get the momentum. Basically, start for fresh. You gotta build your clientele, and then after 3 months, and I was able to start closing. I still help out, Luis. I still because I have some of his past clients that they'll call me, and then I'll be like, oh, I'll close them, but I'll close under Luis. You know what I'm saying? I still help him out here and there, but I don't touch his database anymore. I just everything's on my own now. Like I get my own sphere, start working my own database, and then start building my own clientele. Yeah, but the first year was great. I had a great year last year. Last year was my best year. My best year. Out of all the 3 years I did, it was the best year.
Nice. Damn. I was gonna ask again what's your goal, but you said no goals.
No goals, yeah.
At least for flips. Like, how many flips do you want to do?
Dude, I wanna do 5 this upcoming year. 5. It's pretty aggressive, yeah. It's pretty aggressive, but like, I have a whole plan for it already. Like I got the whole plan. I could pull it off. I do think I could pull it off.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
Is there anything outside of real estate that you care a lot about?
Care about? In real estate. What do you mean by that? Like, what's the
Like, I don't know. Like like a passion,
Passion?
Like, I like stocks. I think stocks are badass.
I like stocks too. It's just like sometimes it kind of pisses me off because like one day it's going up like crazy. Next thing you know, like it just tanks. Like this past week, right? Everything was going up perfectly. It was taking its time, right? Next thing you know, thing just dumped like crazy. I'm like, dude, what? It's like it gets frustrating, but it's a good it's a good market, right? But I try to stay more into real estate. You know what I'm saying? When I see something that I like in real estate, I'll transfer my money to the stocks and throw it into real estate. Stock market, I just use it when I have nothing to invest on. You know what I'm saying? I'll invest it on stocks.
Yeah, I think investing in yourself is better than stocks, but I think
And that too, I agree with that. I do agree with that. That was my first investment. Everything else was myself.
in what way?
I started reading books. I started watching YouTube videos. Mostly just books. A lot of books. One of my favorite authors was it's called Robert Greene. He made 48 Laws of Power, Mastery, The Laws of Human Nature. Those are great books, and I do recommend them, by the way, especially Laws of Nature. It's gonna help. That book alone helped me a lot in the real estate business and the whole industry, because I was able to understand more people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You be able to relate with them, and you be able to understand them. It's basically it. You understand them. Be like, okay, this person does this. Okay, this is I know why they're acting like this way. It's a great book. I recommend it if you haven't read it.
No, I don't read.
No, you don't read?
No.
You don't? You gotta read, man.
I just look at guidelines. That's it. That's the only thing I read. But I haven't read in a while, to be honest.
No, I recommend it, dude. And now go to YouTube. Summary. Boom.
Summary?
Quick summary. 10 minutes. Eat it up.
No, honestly, I think last time I read like an actual book was like it was about sales. Jordan Belfort.
Oh, that's a great book. That's a good book too.
Yeah.
That's a good book. But to be honest with you, I didn't finish reading that book. I went to another book afterwards. But it's still a good book. It's like the basic sales. Basic sales.
Yeah, it's basic sales. But I think when I first started looking into his stuff, I sucked. Like I remember like when I first became a loan officer, I remember there was a short phase where like I got a lead and like I couldn't convert it. And I swear to God, like like I was stressing out, like not because I didn't know how to convert a lead. Well, I guess I didn't, but I was stressing out because it was when I first became a loan officer, so I didn't want to fail. Like I didn't want to like become a loan officer and like not know how to close. And when I discovered this stuff, it helped a lot. Like that's when I was leveraging off George's name a lot.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
like
that's the way to do it for when you started, man. You gotta be humble, dude. A lot of people
they
come
both
up-
have a very similar style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that's good. I mean, like, he's a great guy. George is a great guy too.
Yeah.
Lewis and George. I learned a lot with those two guys. You
Yeah.
know, like George, I see him here and there, but you know, I always like his style too. You know, it was good. But I always like more like because the humbleness. You know, they're not really flashy. You know, stunning this and that. It's
Yeah.
just like, something. This is good. You know, like you have all these people trying to stun for the smallest things.
But honestly, there's nothing wrong with stunning though.
Yeah. Once in a while, you're not wrong. I do stunt sometimes. You know, be like, yo, I got to look at my flip right now.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm about
That
to,
is a stunt in a
It
way.
is a stunt. Yeah, I'm doing
Like you don't mean it.
drywall right now.
Everyone knows you don't mean it in an arrogant way,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I just document the thing. It's not really a stunt. You can live it forever, right? I want to say live it forever, but you're living it. You know, it's my reality. You know, it is what it is. You know, this, boom. You know, like I'm doing this. This is what I do.
yeah, I think that's one thing that, again, back to the social media, some of the best content you could put out there is just yourself actually doing something, you know, like doing a flip.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
gotta be active. It's like I said, you cannot just be at home and then just hope you get leads. You know, you gotta be out there, man. We're guys, dude. You know, we gotta go out there. You can't be. I can't stand being at home. I can't even be at home for an hour.
No, I hate being at home.
Yeah, I gotta be out there. I gotta be in the streets. I love the streets. You know, I love the streets. Yeah, you know, people say, when you're like far away from home, you get homesick. I'm street sick. I call it. I'm street sick. Like, I can't be at home. I gotta be in the streets. Gotta go out there, meet people, talk to people, start making more deals.
That's how I feel too, man. I don't eat at home.
You know,
I don't eat at home.
I probably just eat dinner. That's about it.
I gotta get all the break breads, you know. Like I can't. I gotta have my greatness tracker full.
Yeah, I feel better at the office, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's certain times where, like, I don't feel like being at home. I'll go to the office, just spend some alone time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the office, I'm paying for it. Gotta use it.
Yeah. I think I honestly probably spend way more time here at the office than at home. I'm
Yeah, me
literally
too,
like
man.
always
I
here,
agree.
man.
Yeah, no, me too. We're on the same page.
Yeah, and I think how like would you say you have work life balance or no?
Nah, man. News. My work life balance sucks, dude. It's nothing but work. Workaholic. That's the one of my friends. They told me like literally on this past week on Thursday. She's like, "You're a workaholic." I'm like, "Hey, I like it. Like it's just that is part of me. Can't I like working. I don't hate the job. I love it. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I could do it all day, every day. Don't mind it. It's a lifestyle. It's a benefit. It's a gift. It's a gift from God. Like you do the right things, He'll give you by having a good life, a
Yeah.
life that that you could help people, bring value to their lives, and then and influence them, persuade them, and then just bring a lot of value.
Yeah, I think when I was a real estate agent, bro, it was funny because I used to be at home. Like I would wake up at 12 in the middle of the day.
What?
Yes, bro. That's why I
You're
failed.
not locked in, bro.
I was not locked in. But when I became a loan officer, I locked in, dude. I became addicted. Like I feel like I'm literally addicted to work. Like I can't stop working. Sometimes I want to stop working and then I go to work. Like I just can't. I have a hard time like not wanting more. And I think like once you start doing better and better, like it's like you want more. You want more.
Yeah, it gets addicting.
Because you get your first closing, and like at least for me, my perspective has been this: I have a month where I did my first closing, right, and then there's another month where I get one, and then I get two, and then the next one I get one, and I'm like, oh, I want to get two again, and then I get two, and then I get three, and then four, and then five, and then 6, 7, and so it's like, damn, now I want to do 10.
You're hungry, yeah. You're hungry. I mean, that's healthy. Like you don't settle for less. You want to keep on growing. You want to keep on growing. Like the same thing with you. I want to keep do 1, 2, 3. Same thing with my flips. I was talking to one of my business partners. I was like, like, hey, man, I need a flip. I gotta do construction. I got something. Like, I can't just be like just have nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was getting done one of my rehabs, I was like, damn, well, no, I gotta get something else real quick, cause I gotta close, I gotta buy something, cause I'm not doing nothing. I'm like, I gotta close something and start working in that construction. Luckily, I ended up finding something. So like, as soon as I was, about to get done with this one, I was like, okay, I could start working on this one already. So I can get the flow going. But as soon as I'm done with this one, I gotta find something else, because I go insane. I'm like, dude, I can't. I need to do something with I need some construction going on.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel with deals. Like I feel like I need a new client, and the thing that I've had a lot now is I'll get a new client, and my mind is still focused on getting a new client.
I mean, that's what it is. Yeah. I mean, same thing. You
Like
gotta
I'll get
keep
it right.
flowing. It's because if you stop, it's gonna bite you in the ass, not today, but like in a month or two, if you stop like today. Because right now you have a good flow, but let's say when you close all those clients within 2 or 3 months, it's like, where if you're not working your database for those 2 or 3 months, you're gonna get cooked. You got nothing. You gotta keep on working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. That's healthy. Nothing wrong about that. You know.
I think
You're locked in,
some people think that there's something wrong about that.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people, they told me about work-life balance, that you need it. But like, man, I don't need it. I don't want it. I like what I do. I mean, if I have to, go out there, have fun with some friends, go to a vacation. I haven't gone to a vacation since like 7 years, so can't really tell you about that. But like, like I'll do it. Be like, okay, let's do. We'll take some time off. But if I do take some time off, I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna be working.
Yeah, I think for
Yeah.
me, what I really like is like purpose.
The purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's in that too.
that's what like pushes me forward, and then also like, for example, I went to NAREP, like
Right.
the NAREP, what do they call it? Latitude.
Right.
Last year and the most recent year, and I feel like it wasn't like 100% work, but it was nothing but partying, right? But but the thing was that in a way it was kind of work. You know what I mean? And like I could mess around like that, and I feel like I'm not wasting time because I feel like it was purposeful.
Purposeful.
Like one thing that I say very often when clients ask me how I'm doing is I tell them I'm doing amazing, and I got that from someone that I met in Miami, and I was like, I'm gonna steal that. Like because he was telling me like, hey, like you do that, you open it that way, and you just have like so much energy. Like this
Yeah.
guy's doing amazing. Like damn, did he just sell 2 cribs or
Yeah,
what
no,
happened?
I'm
Like
telling you, like it's just true what he said. Because I started implementing that thing too. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm doing fantastic, things like that. Oh, great, great's a great word. People be like, no, I'm doing good, but like, what's better than good? Great. So instead of saying, oh, I'm doing good, be like, oh, I'm doing great. Oh, I'm great. It's amazing. It kind of twisted your brain a little bit. It brings more.
it's confidence,
It's
bro.
confidence.
It's like man, this
Yeah.
guy's doing
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
bro.
they don't like this guy. Yeah, they'll be like, yo, what's going on with this guy? I want to be around with this guy. That's what you want. You want people to be around with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and that like I said, it's like more purposeful. Like for me, example, like growing up, like some people just want to go like downtown to like go like look around or something like that, or like we go to the mall just to
Spend
look around.
time.
Yeah, just to spend time. And I'm like, I don't know, I never liked that.
Yeah, I never liked that either, dude.
But one
Yeah.
thing that I really love doing is like I like going out with my realtors to like downtown. Like let's go try out a new spot. Let's go to a rooftop, and then like that becomes like a long term memory where it's like you're enjoying good food. You're like sharing about like you guys are both passionate about real estate. You're talking about your goals. You're talking about your vision. You're talking about dumb stuff. Like it's just a great time,
No, I
and it
mean-
feels purposeful.
Yeah, there's like you want to be around those people. It's just not just because it's because the thing is, like realtors and people like in the industry, you're like like-minded people, right? But like I always like to be around with people who like not in the industry. I'm not saying they're not. I'll be with people like in the industry, but I do also hang out with people that are not in the real estate industry. But they have the desire to be better, to be great. You know what I'm saying? They're in a mission. Like I have a group of friends, by the way, and then it's funny because we have a chat. We call it Monk Mode, Monk Mode LLC. Like they first they had it Monk Mode, but when I came in the picture, I started talking about LLC, real estate, this and that. They put to Monk Mode LLC. Hey, shout out to them though. They're cool guys. But like it's like a sphere of friends that we're striving to be better. Some of them are nurses. Some of them like they're in the real estate industry. Some of them they're like they're working like in restaurants, but like they're trying to become better. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are like stock traders. Some of them are options traders. It's a mix. It's a whole mix. But we all have like the same goal to be better, right? We help each other out.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's pretty cool because like we come across a struggle, and then we'll be in the chat like, yo, I'm going through this and this and that, and then we'll all like put our brains together in the chat, be like, yo, do this and this and that, or like if something's going on, this like the whole different field. Someone who knows that field will like help us out, or when they're going through real estate struggles, they'll come to me, or they'll come to to other friends that like they do real estate as well.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Surrounding yourself around the right people, and that's why I love real estate, because like a lot of my agents are on the younger side, like yourself, right? And like if you're young and you're thinking this way, and like you actually take your career seriously, like that's the right people to surround yourself with. Because like I remember, oh man, I don't want to say it, but
Gotta say it now.
I was hitting up some people from my sphere, and they were just like not on like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Right.
I'm like, I'm like, no, like, don't ask me to do that. Like, no, I don't. Like, I'm trying to like, no, like, what's wrong with you?
It's good. Like it just depends, right? Because I do have people that that who I grew up with, that I seen. They're like, damn, this guy, it's not, you kind of you kind of feel bad. You're like, damn, this guy is like, just like not like then. I guess you could say, right? But
I just think that you can only be taken as seriously as you like. You can only be taken as seriously as you take yourself. And I feel like that to me is a big turnoff from people when they don't take themselves seriously. Like for
yeah, I agree.
Like for
I
example,
agree.
I don't like when like well, just in general, like people who don't take themselves seriously, and you know that they're not thinking about like long term. They're just thinking about the day.
At the moment, right?
And
I get what you're saying.
At a certain
agree.
point, like you have like certain, like this is such a weird thing, but to me, like ever since I like graduated high school, never wore ripped jeans. Like I'm not saying that makes you like immature or anything, but I just swear to God, like ever since I graduated high school, I never wore ripped jeans. I don't know why, but I just thought like I don't do that anymore. Like I'm not
Yeah, so
I'm
you're
not a
mature,
teenager.
man. You're mature.
Yeah.
It's because you throughout time you start maturing, right? And it's like, believe it or not, there's gonna be people out there that they're not gonna mature until like 30s, 40s, 50s, and some of them don't even mature at all. Like people be like, oh yeah, Storm, you're young, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this guy, he's doing stupid things, I bet, right? But it's not, it's far from the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You show you're mature, you can hold a conversation, you're educated. They'll be like, oh yeah, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. Like like we're young, right? We're like you're like 22, 23,
23.
23, and I'm 25. So there's gonna be people out there that are not gonna take it serious. But as soon as they start, listen to our background, what we do, be like, oh shit, they'll be surprised, like, damn, this guy's just a kid, he's out here killing it.
Yeah.
I come across with a lot of people. They're like for example, it happened to me yesterday. So one of my neighbors, on one of the rehabs I did, I just got done. He seen like, oh, can I go inside and take a look at him? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, take a peek. And then he was like, well, she was like, ay, is it la casa de tu papás? Is your parents' house? I'm like, no, it's mine. I own it. Oh, so you working for your parents, or like she couldn't believe the fact it was mine. I was doing it myself. I'm like, no, this is mine. I did this. I did all this. I did it myself. They're like, oh no way, I can't believe it. You're so young. How do you did it? This and that. Like, well, it's because I mean, just work it out. Just keep grinding. But she couldn't believe it. Like someone like that young, that was doing it. Doing something like this, because they had like expectation that someone older was possibly doing it. You know what I'm saying? But when people see that you're young and that you're doing bigger things, they'll take you more serious and they'll be more in shock. They're like, oh shit, look at this, he's a kid, and he's out here doing it. That is my respects.
One of my mentors, like, and I think it's kind of like relevant in a way where it's like real estate professionals sometimes, like if they're more experienced or they're older, they don't take you seriously.
Right.
But like one thing that one of my mentors said was like it was like a private like small group, and there was like I know all your guys' numbers. You guys are like you guys talk to more people with equity, and more homeowners than these agents. So don't feel like you can't approach these agents. You guys are all like like you guys are talking to more people than the average real estate agent. So like I think in general when people like it's hard to take someone seriously when they, you know, for example, you're a brand new loan officer and you haven't closed a loan yet. Of course, right?
Of course, yeah.
But if you're a realtor and then you see this loan officer that's closed more deals like in like he's doing your year in a month, you're gonna be like, okay, let me listen to this guy, you know.
Yeah.
So like I think you gotta just take yourself seriously. And then adults, like sometimes like it's hard for them to believe, like
Yeah, they'll be stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, I can't believe it. Or them watching you grow, you know what I'm saying? Like them
Yeah.
watching you start from actually getting to that point, like, damn, I can't believe it. They get jealous sometimes. Some of them do get jealous.
yeah,
Like, damn, this guy, he started younger than me, he's doing better than me sometimes. Like, yeah, it's envy. I mean, it's not really good, but they could have just like me, like, well, I don't know, be humble, I guess you could say.
yeah. Why don't you wear a suit though?
Suit? I mean, I do wear one. It just depends, right? But I got,
Bro, I've never seen you in a suit. I've seen you in a blazer, just a blazer.
Yeah. No, it's because, like, it just depends, right? It depends on the
Because of
occasion.
Lewis or what?
No, it was because, like, well, Lewis, he used to wear a lot of suits. But, like, I mean, just the times I was shadowing him, he wasn't really wearing a suit. But I used to hear that he used to wear, like, a lot of suits. A lot, most of the time. But when I came in, he started, after the pandemic, he wasn't really wearing a suit. And then, me by watching them, like, if he's not wearing a suit, I'm not going to wear a suit, like, It's what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do wear a suit, right? It just depends on the occasion. But, people do tell me that a lot, bro. I'm like, bro, I have not seen you wear a suit. It's because I always tell them, boss, because you got to be ready, man. What I'm with a client, next thing you know, I got to deliver materials. You know what I'm saying? I got to be, I can't be in the suit just dropping on materials.
People have told me the opposite, that
Yeah.
they don't ever see me outside of a
Out of the
suit.
suit. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I've not seen you out of the suit. Dude,
I-
we went golfing. You had like fancy shoes. I'm like, dude, this guy's out of dress.
Bro, we were some bots.
Bro, you just showed up a whole suit. Like, what's up with
Nah,
this guy?
not in a whole suit. But nah, you're right. I tweaked on that one.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's because I don't have regular clothes. Like I do, but it's all old. Like it doesn't.
So?
Like I have more suits. I have more like dress clothes than probably like
You
regular
got to
clothes.
invest some drip, man. Some drip.
I don't have drip.
Yeah, no, near the why I wear the same clothes, dude. People see me with the same clothes, but they don't know I have like the same pair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I have like the same pants, but like five different pants, but same color, same
Yeah.
thing. It's just like I don't want to go. They said like when you wake up in the morning and you start thinking what to wear, it drains your brain.
You know that's why
power.
Steve Jobs used to wear like the jeans.
Mark Zuckerberg too. Yeah, all those people. They're like, yeah, I want to like, have something like I could just wake up and
You don't
just
want to
get
shower. You just want to put on your
on. No, I
clothes.
shower. Like, just put on some, put some basic clothes and that's it. Get the ball rolling.
But now I had a great time, man.
You too.
Anything you want to share before we end it?
Well, I mean, just hey, man, lock in. Happy 2025. Lock in. If you got any questions about real estate, whatever, I'm here. If we haven't talked in a minute, I'm here. Like if I see you in person, I'm gonna say hi to you. Feel free to shoot me a text, whatever. I'll reply. Any questions, concerns, you need any, anything at all, any help, I'm here. On some real stuff, real shit. Yeah. And
Lock in.
And shout out to Monk Moon LLC. Beautiful chat. Beautiful chat. I love those guys. I'm telling you, these people, they come in clutch.
Lock in 2025.
Lock in.